listeners, today we're talking March releases. Hello everyone, this is Gabby and today we are gonna go through all of the books I'm excited for coming out in March 2022. We've got 10. I am very excited. If you're new here, let me do the spiel. You can vote for a book you want me to review. I'm gonna review it for you. There's a poll down in the comments. Also, you could just write it down, whatever you want. There's a whole series. I'll link all the playlists. I don't actually know how many new people watch this, but anyway, if you're new, give me a shout. If this is your first video you're seeing, comment, say hello. For those who know what's up, like I said, 10 books. I'm very excited. Let's go through them in order of release. So first book is a pretty exciting one, to be fair. It is Gallant by V.E. Schwab. This one's coming out on 1st of March and it's a YA horror fantasy, which is pretty much the only reason why I was intrigued, because I tried V.E. Schwab's books. So I tried reading Darker Shade of Magic, DNF'd really early on, didn't gel with me. And then I read New Witch, thought it was just alright. Nothing special. I know each of her books is very different, so I'm excited because I do love horror fantasy. I think it's very fascinating and it can be done very well. So I was excited to check it out, and most of you guys would be excited because V.E. Schwab is such a big author. So I thought, let's put it on the list. Let me read you a synopsis. Olivia Pryor has grown up in Maryland's school for girls, and all she has of her past is her mother's journal, which seems to unravel into madness. Then her letter invites Olivia to come home, to Gallant. Yet when Olivia arrives, no one is expecting her. But Olivia is not about to leave the first place that feels like home. It doesn't matter if her cousin Matthew is hostile or if she sees half-formed ghouls haunting the hallways. Olivia knows that Gallant is hiding secrets, and she is determined to uncover them. When she crosses a ruined wall at just the right moment, Olivia finds herself in a place that is Gallant, but not. The manor is crumbling, the ghouls are solid, and a mysterious figure rules over all. Now Olivia sees what has unraveled generations of her family and where her father may have come from. Olivia has always wanted to belong somewhere, but will she take her place as Pryor, protecting our world against the master of the house? Or will she take her place beside him? Little corruption storyline. I mean, never goes there, but well, maybe with V. Schwab it would. We do love it. We love some corruption, so I'm excited. It actually sounds pretty good, although I feel like this synopsis was hard to read, but maybe I'm just having some kind of stroke. Next book is The Lost Dreamer by Lizz Huerta. So this one's coming out on 1st of March, and it's a YA high fantasy. And it sounds so good, and I love the cover. It's absolutely gorgeous, beautiful, and I don't know why, but I thought it was sci-fi, but it's fantasy, but I thought it was sci-fi. I don't know, something about it just gave me like futuristic vibes, but it looks really cool. And this is the synopsis. Indir is a dreamer, descended from a long line of seers. Able to see beyond reality, she carries the rare gift of dreaming truth. But when the beloved king dies, his son has no respect for this time-honored tradition. King Harkin wants an opportunity to bring the dreamers to a permanent end. An opportunity Indir will give him if he discovers the two secrets she is struggling to keep. As violent change shakes Indir's world to its core, she is forced to make an impossible choice. Fight for her home or fight to survive. Saya is a seer, but not a dreamer. She has never been formally trained. Her mother exploits her daughter's gift, passing it off as her own, as they travel from village to village, never staying in one place too long, almost as if they're running from something, almost as if they're being haunted. When Saya loses the necklace she's worn since birth, she discovers that seeing isn't her only gift, and begins to suspect that everything she's known about her life has been a carefully constructed lie. As she comes to distrust the only family she's ever known, Saya will do what she's never done before. Go where she's never been, and risk all in a search of answers. Sounds very mysterious, sounds very cool. Sounds like I'm seeing a potential for LGBTQ+ romance, but I don't know, but I feel like there is some. The next book is Tell Me an Ending by Jo Harkin. So this one's coming out on 1st of March as well, and it's an adult sci-fi dystopian. So I was quite excited because, as you might know, I am trying to explore a bit more adult and sci-fi actually, and I do love dystopians. Tell Me an Ending follows 4 characters grappling with the question of what to remember and what they hope to forget forever. Finn, an Irish architect living in Arizona desert, begins to suspect his charming wife is having an affair. May, a troubled grad school dropout in Kuala Lumpur, wonders why she remembers a city she's never visited. William, a former police inspector in England, struggles with PTSD, the breakdown of his marriage, and his own secret family history. Oscar, a handsome young man with almost no memories at all, travels the world in a constant state of fear. Into these characters' lives comes Noor, an emotionally closed-off psychologist at the memory removal clinic in London, who begins to suspect her glamorous boss, Louise, of serious wrongdoing. So it's basically about this clinic that can take away memories. Really reminds me of, what is it? Was that Blue something? You know, it's like with Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet. It's a movie and they can remove their memories. That's it. That's the anecdote. I know it's riveting. Next book is very exciting. So it's All My Rage by Sabaa Tahir, and this one's also coming out on the 1st of March. And it's a YA contemporary / historical fiction because it has 2 timelines, so I wasn't sure how to classify it. But I do love Sabaa Tahir. I read her, oh my god, how am I forgetting this? An Ember in the Ashes, of course. An Ember in the Ashes series. I really loved it. I still need to read the last book, but that's pretty much it. And I love every entry in it, so I have faith in her being able to write a really good contemporary / historical fiction. So here's the synopsis for you. Lahore, Pakistan, then. Misbah is a dreamer and a storyteller, newly married to Tawfiq in an arranged match. After their young life is shaken by tragedy, they come to United States and open the Cloud's Rest Inn motel, hoping for a new start. Juniper, California, now. Salahuddin and Noor are more than best friends, they are family. Growing up as outcasts in the small desert town of Juniper, California, they understand each other the way no one else does. Until the fight, which destroys their bond with a swift fury of star exploding. Now, Sal scrambles to run the family motel as his mother's Misbah's health fails, and his grieving father loses himself to alcoholism. Noor, meanwhile, walks a harrowing tightrope, working at her wrathful uncle's liquor store while hiding the fact that she's applying to college so she can escape him and Juniper forever. I think it's just me. When Sal's attempts to save the motel spiral out of control, he and Noor must ask themselves what friendship is worth and what it takes to defeat the monsters in their pasts and the ones in their midst. Sounds sad? See, the thing is, I don't like sad books because they make me sad, and I don't like being sad, therefore I don't read sad books. But sometimes I make an exception, and sometimes I know it sneaks in different genres, but I don't read sad contemporaries. Just not for me, okay? Not for me. Book number 5 is 1,000 Steps Into Night by Traci, Chee. So this one is coming out on 1st of March as well, and it's a YA high fantasy inspired by Japanese mythology, which I thought looked really cool and had pretty good reviews so far, so I'm very excited. And this is what it's about. In the realm of Awara, where gods, monsters, and humans exist side by side, Muiko is an ordinary girl resigned to a safe, if uneventful, existence as an innkeeper's daughter. But when Muiko is cursed and begins to transform into a demon with a deadly touch, she embarks on a quest to reverse the curse and return to her normal life. Aided by a thieving magpie spirit and continuously thwarted by a demon prince, Muiko must outfox tricksters, escape demon hunters, and negotiate with feral gods if she wants to make it home again. But with her transformation comes power and freedom she never even dreamed of, and she'll have to decide if saving her soul is worth trying to cram herself back into an ordinary life that no longer fits her, and perhaps never did. Sounds awesome. Next book is Memphis by Tara M. Stringfellow. Tara M. Stringfellow. 3rd of March, it's coming out, and it's an adult historical fiction. And the reason it kind of appealed to me, although it's not normally what I read, is that it kind of reminds me of does it? I mean, I don't know. I feel like the vibes are similar to Girl, Woman, Other, which I love. Absolutely love that book. So there you go. That's why. But this is what it's about. In the summer of 1995, 10-year-old Joan, her mother, and her younger sister flee her father's violence, seeking refuge at her mother's ancestral home in Memphis. Half a century ago, Joan's grandfather built this majestic house in the historic black neighborhood of Douglas, only to be lynched days after becoming the first black detective in Memphis. This wasn't the first time violence altered the course of Joan's family's trajectory, and she knows it won't be the last. Longing to become an artist, Joan pours her rage and grief into sketching portraits of the women of North Memphis, including their enigmatic neighbor Miss Dawn, who seems to know something about curses. Unfolding over 70 years through a chorus of voices, Memphis weaves back and forth in time to show how the past and future are forever intertwined. It is only when Joan comes to see herself as a continuation of a long matrilineal tradition and the woman in her family as her guides to healing that she understands that her life does not have to be defined by vengeance, that the sole weapon she needs is her paintbrush. Instead, it's inspired by author's own family history. Memphis is a black fairy tale she always wanted to read, explores the complexity of what was passed down not only in our families but in our country. Police brutality and justice, powerlessness and freedom, faith and forgiveness, doubt and faith, sacrifice and love. Sounds beautiful. The reason I said kind of reminds me of Girl, Woman, Other is just because the Girl, Woman, Other is also like a compilation of different voices, sometimes interconnected, or like daughter, mother, neighbor, friend, lover, and it's all about black women's stories. Like, it's a brilliant book and I really, really loved it. It kind of gives me the vibes, you know, so that's why. But yeah, it was really, really good. So I'm very excited about this one and I think I really want to read it and like take my time with it because it sounds absolutely amazing. Next book is Blood Scion by Deborah Falaye. So this one's coming out on 8th of March and it's a YA high fantasy. And you know I'm excited because this was on my most anticipated books of 2022 video. So if you want to check out the whole video, I'm going to link it. But yeah, it was there. So you know I'm excited. So this is a synopsis. 15-year-old Sloane can incinerate an enemy at will. She is a Scion, a descendant of the ancient Orisha gods. Under Delus's brutal rule, her identity means her death if her powers are discovered. But when she is forcibly conscripted into Delus's army on her 15th birthday, Sloane sees a new opportunity to overcome the bloody challenges of Lucy's training and destroy them from within. Sloane rises through the ranks and gains strength, but in doing so, risks something greater, losing herself entirely and becoming the very monster that she abhors. It sounds awesome. I don't know what else to tell you. It sounds awesome. And the cover. Girl, the cover. On the topic of covers, a pure cover vibe, I've not bought it yet, so it's a pure cover interest, is A Magic Steeped in Poison by Judy Lynn. So this was coming out on 22nd of March and it's a YA historical fantasy. And when I actually first found this book, I saw the cover of the sequel and I saw that the sequel was coming out in 2022, so I was like, oh, the previous book must have come out already, so I need to like read that first. But the first book actually has not come out, this because As Magic Steeped in Poison is the first book, and both of the duology books are coming out this year. So if you're someone that really, really likes not waiting for the next installment and reading books really quickly, that's a very good opportunity because this book is just coming out like within months of each other and they sound very exciting. The cover really totally got me. It just looks absolutely gorgeous and amazing and I'm so excited to read it. And this is the synopsis. For Nin, the only thing worse than losing her mother is knowing that it's her own fault. She was the one who unknowingly brewed the poison tea that killed her. The poison tea that now threatens to also take her sister's shoe. When Nin hears of a competition to find the kingdom's greatest Shang-Chi, master of ancient and magical art of tea making, she travels to the imperial city to compete. The winner will receive a favor from the princess, which may be Nin's only chance to save her sister's life. But between the backstabbing competitors, bloody court politics, and mysterious and handsome boy with a shocking secret, Nin might actually be the one in more danger. Oh my god, we're already on book number 9. Okay, so book number 9 is What We Harvest by Anne Fraistat, and it was coming out on 22nd of March, and it's a YA fantasy horror, which I love. So I'm very excited. And this is a synopsis. Wren owes everything she has to her home, Hollow's End, a centuries-old, picture-perfect American town. Tourists travel miles to marvel at its miracle crops, including the shimmering, iridescent wheat of Wren's family farm, until 5 months ago. That's when the quicksilver mercury blight first surfaced, poisoning the farms of Hollow's End, one by one. It began by consuming the crops, thick silver sludge bleeding from the earth. Next were the animals. Infected livestock and wild creatures alike staggered off into the woods by day, only to return at night, their eyes fogged white, leering from the trees. Then the blight came for the neighbors. Wren is among the last locusts standing, and the blight has finally come for her too. Now, the only one she can turn to is the last person she wants to call, her ex, Derek. They haven't spoken in months, but Wren and Derek still have one thing in common. Hollow's End means everything to them. Only there's much they don't know about their hometown and its renowned miracle crops. And they're about to discover that miracles aren't free. Their ancestors have an awful lot to pay for, and Wren and Derek are the only ones left to settle all the debts. Wow. Sounds awesome, sounds scary, sounds horror-y, so I'm very excited. And the last book is very exciting as well because it is The Bone Orchard by Sara A. Mueller, and this one's also coming out on 22nd of March, and it's like a YA gothic, a fantasy / horror, so I am very excited. Once again, I really like the cover, super unsettling, super creepy, and this is a synopsis. Charm is a witch, and she is alone. The last of a line of conquered necromantic workers, now confined within the yard of regrown bone trees to Orchard House, and the secrets of their marrow. Charm is a prisoner and a survivor. Charm tends the trees and their clattering fruit for the sake of the children, her children, painstakingly grown and regrown with its fruit. Shame, justice, desire, pride, and pain. Charm is a whore and a madame. The wealthy and powerful Beauregard come to her house to buy time with the girls who aren't real. Wait, what? Except on Tuesdays, which is when the Emperor himself laid claims to his mistress, Charm herself. But now Charm is also the only person who can keep the empire together, as the Emperor summons her to his deathbed and charges her with choosing which of his awful, faithless sons will carry on the empire, by discovering which one is responsible for his own murder. If she does this last thing, she will finally have what has been denied her since the fall of Inshil, her freedom. But if she does, she will also be betraying the ghosts, past and present, that live on within her heart. Charm must choose her dead emperor's will. Oh my God, I'm struggling. Her dead emperor's will, or the whispers of her own ghosts. Justice for the empire, or her own revenge. God, that was a struggle. We got through it. I don't know what's up with me today. I need to do some mouth exercises to properly talk to you. I hope you enjoyed the video even though it's a mess. Let me know if you were excited about any of these releases. Let me know if you would me to review any of these particularly. Vote in the Twitter poll, do all of that good stuff. Again, just tell me what you're excited about. That's what I care about the most. Thank you so much for watching. If you could comment, like, and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. It really does help me out. But that's it from me, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!